Did you guys see that? They came empty-handed. Do they not know the rules? Or do they not respect the god of war at all? I don't think I've seen them before. Who are they? Did they sneak in? Soon, everyone noticed Aaron and his family. Hearing the various mutterings, Aaron wished the ground would swallow him up. This is too embarrassing. It differed from being humiliated in front of someone familiar. First of all, they didn't have any sense of presence in this place. And second of all, they were just nobodies among the many big shots. It was a kind of psychological humiliation. Not long after, the room was in turmoil. Everyone had shifted their gaze to a few men walking in, dressed in military uniform. The leader of the group was a bona fide king of war, who carried one star on his shoulder. His imposing aura had everyone speechless. A quick introduction. I served at the Eastern War Zone, codenamed Azure Dragon. I'm the god of war's right-hand man. Azure Dragon scanned the area domineeringly. Aaron and his family shuddered in fear when they saw this scene. Man, this god of war is too scary. Even his right-hand man is the king of war. Indeed. The god of war is Erudia's first war god with 5 stars. Caitlin was so anxious that she was about to cry. We should have at least brought something. What will happen to us if he thinks we are disrespecting him? Azure Dragon, may I ask when is the god of war arriving? Jessie asked. Azure Dragon smiled. Truth be told, the god of war is already in our midst right now. He tends to keep a low profile and hardly ever attends such events. It's beyond my expectation that he actually came. His words brought on a storm as people looked around frantically in search of this man. Stop searching, Azure Dragon said sternly. But keep in mind that the god of war has your every word and action in check. I will act as the mediator today. You can find me if there's anything you need. Well, isn't this a hint? Aaron whispered upon hearing this. And the rest seemed to have understood his meaning as well. Northampton Winston Gonzalez presents the god of war with a pair of legendary pearl. Northampton Evergreen Chamber of Commerce presents the god of war with a 200-year-old wild ginseng. Northampton Apocalypse Club presents the god of war with a McLaren P1. Everyone at the venue rushed to the front to present their extravagant gifts, in which mansions were also on the list. Seeing them presenting their gifts one after another, Aaron and Caitlin bowed their heads in utter embarrassment. Even Zoe wanted to make a run for the exit. On the stage, Azure Dragon looked at the mountain of gifts piled up before him. His expression turning colder by the minute. What do you mean by doing this? Azure Dragon's voice shocked the audience. Even Jesse, the governor of Northampton, held his tongue. Everyone looked at Azure Dragon, not quite understanding what he meant. Are you insulting the god of war? No, no. Absolutely not. Azure Dragon's words scared the life out of everyone. Mark my words. This is what the god of war hates the most. Don't use your tricks on the god of war. By doing so, you're only looking down on him. Azure Dragon reproached, and everyone understood at once. Is the god of war short of money? Not at all. The god of war has unparalleled wealth and power. Please hold your anger, Azure Dragon. We were in the wrong. Azure Dragon glanced at the crowd. Did anyone not give a gift just now? Everyone looked at each other and found that there was no one who didn't present their gifts. Dad, raise your hand. This is your chance. Levi reminded. Zoe and her parents had been listening. They were relieved to hear that the other party didn't like receiving gifts. Even so, they weren't audacious enough to raise their hands. Zoe, raise your hand if you trust me. It's definitely a good thing. Zoe raised her hand, and everyone looked over. Azure Dragon fixed his eyes on Zoe. Good, very good. Your attitude is right to come empty-handed. That shows your respect for the god of war. Good job. Hearing the king of war's compliments, Zoe and her parents stood up subconsciously, overwhelmed by the flattery and honor. What's your name? Azure Dragon asked. Nice to meet you, Azure Dragon. My name is Zoe Lopez. This is my father, Aaron. Zoe introduced her family courteously. Very good. I shall remember your names. I will give priority to you and your family for any good things in the future. Azure Dragon pledged. Everyone in the room was amazed, including Jessie. Zoe and her parents expressed their gratitude in a fluster. They never dreamed that such a blessing would fall into their laps. Even at the end of the banquet, they felt like they were floating in the clouds. God, this is all real. Aaron even pocketed a few name cards from big bosses who had expressed their goodwill to him. You're so lucky, young lady. Caitlin beamed. Zoe looked at Levi. Mom, it's all thanks to Levi. He expected that the god of war doesn't like gifts, and encouraged me to raise my hand. I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for him. Levi has really knocked our socks off tonight. Indeed. Do we even have the chance to attend this banquet if it wasn't for him? Aaron and Caitlin's impression of Levi changed for the better. That's your luck, Levi said. I just asked a friend to get us a few invitations, that's all. Right then, Zoe regarded Levi with a rather different look. It's as if everything was within his control tonight, as if he'd solved everything with just his words. Could it be that he has some influential background? Maybe he's behind all this today. But how is it possible? He was imprisoned for 6 years. Zoe dismissed that idea soon after. It had been a long and thrilling night, but fortunately enough, it was a happy ending. Aaron and Caitlin felt dizzy with excitement now that they had redeemed and especially proven themselves to the Lopez family. However, Harry called just then, and it was Aaron who picked up the call. You and Zoe don't have to go to work from tomorrow onwards. What? Harry's cold and merciless voice sounded from over the phone. You guys have disappointed me so much. When will you pay back the 2.8 million you owe me? Dad, Well, since you can't pay back, I'll take back the company and get Samuel and Melanie to take over the business. You're on your own. Harry hung up. Aaron's phone fell to the ground with a thud. After learning about what happened, Zoe and Caitlin sobbed, hugging each other. What's wrong? Levi asked. Grandpa took back the company, Zoe sniffed. We're unemployed now. HMPH, they'll regret this. Meanwhile, at the Lopez residence, Fabian asked gingerly after Harry hung up the phone, is it okay for us to do that? Levi doesn't have any influential background, does he? Dad, I've already asked around, Henry said. My friend's former classmate works at the Municipal Water Conservancy Bureau, and he was there at the banquet. He said that Levi is just a nobody who relied on a friend to get inside. What's more ridiculous, only their family didn't bring any gifts. As if that wasn't embarrassing enough, they even took it seriously when they heard that the god of war didn't like receiving gifts. Everyone cracked up when they heard what happened. Harry then let out a cold snort. I must take back their company and make them jobless for disgracing Me at Paradise Villa. He was simmering with anger because of the incident today. It was Henry who hatched the plot to have Harry take back the company. That's right. They are a bunch of ungrateful buffoons who never treat Grandpa with respect. Samuel chimed in. I swear I'll make their life miserable. Harry looked at Samuel, his face full of anticipation. The Lopez family depends on you now, Samuel. I don't think we can make it to West City's ecological park development project tomorrow, but it's okay. You have to work harder, Samuel, and get us more projects through your connections. Don't worry, Grandpa, Samuel replied,